Edward Snowden has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, saying that Edward Snowden has, quote, contributed to a more stable and peaceful world order by exposing U.S. surveillance processes and practices and forcing a new debate over security and privacy. Two officials from Norway have nominated the former intelligence contractor Edward Snowden for the Nobel Peace Prize. If he were to win the award, he would join Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, and of course, President Obama himself, who shortly after being awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, sent a whole bunch more troops to Afghanistan, presumably to have to, I guess, out of necessity or out of policy or out of direction from above, kill many people. Question one is, how much does the Nobel Peace Prize really signify today in 2014 about your efforts to promote peace? And number two, does Edward Snowden have any chance at all of actually winning this?
Yeah, those are some good questions. It makes me wonder if this is another one of those awards that we just shouldn't care about. I think if the Nobel Peace Prize is good for anything, it's probably good for getting you more lucrative speaking gigs, right?
It probably is, and it's really incredible to me that we could have Edward Snowden. I don't think he's actually going to win. I think he has no shot of actually winning this, but let's imagine for a second that he did. If Edward Snowden was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, he would be simultaneously a recipient of the arguably most important peace-related recognition in the world and wanted for arrest by the United States, which is interesting, but not unheard of, actually. I did a little research. Liu Xiaobo from China is a Chinese literary critic, writer, professor, human rights activist who was calling for political reforms at the end of communist rule in China. He's currently incarcerated as a political prisoner, and during his fourth prison term, he was awarded the 2010 Nobel Peace Prize for his long and nonviolent struggle for human rights in China. Also, Aung San Suu Kyi is a Burmese opposition politician and chairperson of the National League for Democracy. And in the 1990 general election, the NLD, that party, won 59% of the national votes, 81% of the seats in parliament. However, she had already been detained, and she had been detained under the auspices of house arrest, specifically before the elections. She remained under house arrest in Burma and won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1991. So it's actually not unheard of, this incredible and just very open discrepancy between simultaneously, with the case of President Obama, being honored with the Nobel Peace Prize and shortly thereafter scaling up a war, albeit temporarily with specific aims, and on the other hand, with the Burmese and Chinese examples, being under arrest for your activism and at the same time winning the Nobel Peace Prize for those same actions.
Right. It is not uncommon. Just look at how many peaceful protesters end up in handcuffs on any given day in this country. It's incredible.